Welcome, guys, John's Football Channel. This is your post review to Chelsea 1, Leeds 0. What a game! We have done it, boys. We have actually managed to win a game. Very surprisingly, that we actually scored and we kept the clean sheet in one game. Very, very good that we're in the final. Let's get into this post review and let's actually see and dissect what happened in this game. So, if we take a look at their team, they went with Perry in goal. Surprised, I thought they were with Dolo. Probably I'm not sure if he was injured. Then they went Justin, Boyle, Strick as the centre backs. They went with the back three. Then Bogle, Ampadu, Tanaka, and Goodmanson as the midfield and the wing backs. And then just ahead of them they went Okorf and Edmondson as the cams, and then Calvert-Lewin up front. Then if we take a look at Chelsea, surprisingly, we went with Sanchez in goal. Then we went with Tosin. I wouldn't know. I think it was a shock to all of us to see chosen, but I suppose we have to keep his value up. We have to actually keep him good on the books in case we would want to actually sell him and actually get another centre back for next season. Then we went with Chalaba, Gusto, and then Cucurella. And then in our CDMs we went with Lavia, which was another shock. Most of the time he probably comes to the bench. Or I think we also might have thought that Santos would have played instead of him. But then we played it, but then I played with Lavia and Caicedo. And then in the midfield we went with Neto, Enzo, and Garnacho. It was quite surprising to see that Palmer wasn't playing. And then João Pedro up front. Pedro playing up front. Then if we had to take a look at actually how this game went, with before Enzo's goal, I think we were doing okay. I think it was a case of us. I don't know for what particular reason we can actually base this on that we actually were doing better. Is it a question of that Leeds weren't up for this game, the pressure gave to them because it was the semis, or was it a case of certain players knowing that in their contracts, I suppose, that they will get an additional income, knowing that they've reached the final of some competition? That is a question. Or is it just a case of it's a bounce back because there's a new manager? And is there some kind of pressure that's off them now, knowing that Liam Rosenior is gone? Is there something that he was doing that now him not being is allowing the team to actually flow a bit more better? The way we were playing, it looked like the team that we actually wanted, the exact way that we wanted them to play. Like João Pedro, for instance, João Pedro did very, very well today. Like the likes of Enzo, like Gusto. Gusto didn't have the best game, but I think certain scenarios and positions of play, I think he actually did quite well. So yeah, then if we take a look at how the first goal went in, it was obviously, like I mentioned in the preview, a counter-attack from Sanchez, not just sending it for the sake of sending it. He actually sent it to Neto, and Neto ended up getting the ball, and ended up playing it, I don't know if he played it to Enzo, and then somehow he ends up getting it back to him, or he ended up running with the ball, or was it João Pedro? But either way, he ends up getting on the byline. And then normally we would expect Neto to actually cut in, probably shoot, take forever, play to Gusto, and then we recycle the ball. But now this time he actually did what we were been asking for him in the preview, and he actually decided to cross the ball. And then lucky enough he was able to cross it, and then lucky enough that Enzo was there in the right time and was able to head the ball. Surprisingly, no one was marking him. There was someone in front of him, but I don't know if they knew that he was there. And then Enzo ends up getting an easy goal at the office and then ends up scoring. Very well done from him to actually open our book in terms of goals scored. It's been a while, it's been a minute, it's been dry. So luckily we're able to get this chance and actually bury it. Then not much happened. We did have some couple of chances. I think also that I believe that the chance with João Pedro had a good chance where he was played onside towards the box, and then he ended up taking a shot, and it was just unfortunate. It hit the post and went out. Most of those chances could have easily happened where it hit the post and could have went in, and actually scored a goal for us, and actually opened our opportunity there to actually take a lead. But no, that actually ended up going out, and it actually didn't go exactly the way we anticipated. But luckily, we were able to get there in the end. There was a couple of also opportunities where João Pedro actually did well in terms of the midfield, receiving the ball, turning, and actually going on the counter attack. It is a question of these players. Do these players actually deliberately play poor? I mean, 1 minute you're playing so nicely, and then the next game you play. It is a question of how are they able to flick the switch that quickly? Surely there must be something involved. Surely they are telling themselves, no, this game we're going to lose, and then tomorrow we win. That has to be the mindset. I mean, you can't go from playing spectacular one game and then poor the next. It's not very likely that for that to happen. Chances are it's most likely for it to happen in a case of you play okay this game, and then you play a bit better the next game, or you play okay this game and then you play a bit poor. But you stay along those lines of decent, basically. But now with some of these players, they look like somehow they took some substance before the game, and now they become prime. I wouldn't say prime Barcelona, but in a sense, or prime Chelsea even. They have that some kind of understanding what exactly needs to be done, and somehow they do it. Like for instance with Garnacho. Garnacho didn't also have the best of games at all, but there was opportunities where all of a sudden he decided to cut in and shoot. Chances are he takes for forever to actually get the ball in the box, or takes forever to actually shoot. This time he actually cut in quickly and shot. It was just unfortunate. Also, I think it was an opposition touched it, if I'm correct. So apart from that, it actually was decent from him to cause that shock, and cause that opportunity of a ball going in the back of the net. Creating a chance is better than not doing nothing with it. So I think for that, I think we have to commend him. Even on how stupid that is. I mean, commending people on something so basic, but yet at this stage now with certain players, I mean, it's the least that you can expect from them. Then if we go into the second half, obviously both teams made some subs. Joe Rogan came on, Stash came on, and then in the 66th minute, we ended up taking off Lavia. Santos comes on, and I think it was also well done from Santos. He actually was able to also keep up the tempo, keep the going, and then we also ended up seeing Palmer come on for Garnacho, which was also a good sub, a correct one. It's not like some situations where we take forever to actually play the sub. 20 minutes still to go, relatively decent. Could have been probably a bit earlier, but apart from that, it came off. Palmer comes on, and then Palmer's able to also. He didn't have much of an impact, I would say, from the moment he came on, but it was up there. I think had he been there for longer, you probably would have seen a bit more. But yeah, it is what it is. And then after, so if you take a look, then Leeds ended up making up more subs in the second half at the 74th minute. And then there was a few yellow cards from both teams. And then at the end, Liam Delap comes on for João Pedro just to waste a bit of more time for us, in order for us to get the result. Also, it is another question of that Leeds at some point were actually starting to build up the pressure. I think for most of us, we did become scary. Like, are they gonna score? Are we gonna lose? Are we gonna lose our opportunity actually to win this game? But luckily, we were able to stay ahead, stay consistent, and we actually followed through and actually got the result at the end. So very well done from us. And then if we take a look at some of the stats, I mean, our stats are not that as bad. Yes, they may look on paper with all the yellows and blues circles around them. But if we take a look, I mean, total shots, they had 10, we had 8, not very far from each other. Possession as well, 54 to 46, relatively the same. Touches in opposition box, we had 23, they had 12. Not the worst. I mean, 10 touches. Sometimes, especially with João Pedro, I think we all can remember that João Pedro chance where I'm not sure who in the midfield, if it was Lavia or Santos, who ends up playing the ball on the wing. I think to Gusto, and then Gusto feigns as if he was going to cross it in first time, and then lands a cutting in. When have you ever seen Gusto do that? Never. And now all of a sudden he decides to do that, and then he ends up playing it to João Pedro. And for some reason, João Pedro says, no, this is too easy. Let me make it a bit harder. Why? Shoot. Control, shoot. Done. No, now he wants to take a touch, take a chance, and then eventually they end up getting there and then actually getting the block. So, yeah, it is what it is. João Pedro should be kicking himself for that opportunity. It was a very, very good opportunity to be a very, very good goal for us. And then if we had big chances missed, they missed 2, we missed 1. Also, some good saves from Sanchez in this game. We all remember, I think, the particular 2. I think there was a big blast from one of their midfielders. I remember it was Rondon, and then there was another one from Calvert Lewin, who ends up coming on the counter, and he was 1-on-1 with Sanchez, and then Sanchez ends up making his body very big, and his foot just ends up getting there at the end, and ends up stopping it from going into the goals. There was also a few opportunities where Leeds could have hurt us. I think also with the header from Calvert Lewin. Probably if Calvert Lewin had a bit more clean in terms of the header, he probably would have buried it. There was, yeah. So apart from those, there was a few, but there are not too many. I would say that they deserved anything from this game. They were relatively quiet. It's just a few that they were able to get through to us. So luckily that we're able to wave the storm and actually get through it. Then we look at total fouls. We had 14, they had 13. Offsides, they had 0, we had 2. Corners, we had 6, and they had 4. So not very, very far from one another. And so I think hence why it shows these stats in a way represent the scoreline, 1-0. Not very, very far difference. Very, very close scoreline. So I think hence why it was deserved. I'm sure if we're going to put in the work ethic, we're going to get it out basically. So these are the stats that we went with and we actually pushed for, and I suppose that's what you end up getting at the end, which is a 1-0 win against an opposition team. Yes, sometimes if we end up playing the same football in another game, this wouldn't be the case, but it is for what it is. We end up getting the win. Where we can be now is be happy that we actually got it, and actually hopefully that this brings us some more form and more consistency going into the Premier League now, and actually end up getting another goal and win there. wanted, and the competition that they once did, I suppose. So let's see what they do, and let's see if we can actually continue this form and actually take it into the Premier League. So guys, peace.